What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NBA show. To check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. But other than that, let's get some cash. Let's get paid in full. Let's have a big day. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. And let's eat. We move on to a Wham Bam game, and I was very excited to see it on your card. I was very excited to see the shirt that you are wearing. 8 p.m. Eastern, Toronto Raptors, 16-15. Actually, that is 16-16. They lost this evening at Miami Heat, 14-17, 7-7 at home. Hard to believe that the two teams combined, Raptors and Heat, would be under 500 this late in the season. American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida. Raptors pace last 5, 21st in the NBA, 98.40 possessions a game. They moved to small ball. You would think that would speed them up, and it has not. And they're succeeding. Heat pace last 5, the slowest in the NBA. 97.47 possessions a game. Extremely interesting. And we have a Wham Bam game with no market. So we will hear what he is expecting from a market. Now, first off, the very first note I wrote. Now, this is before I really took a hard look at the minutes played against the Sixers. And, you know, in that game, the Raptors were down 37-18 after the first quarter. And I was really thinking, man, if the Raptors mail it in right now, I'm really going to like them tomorrow night at Miami Heat. If the Raptors dig in and fight back and show heart and character, and I know that's something that you want to see, I don't know if I'm going to want them. And my initial feeling was first quarter, and then the deeper I looked at how hard they played late, you know what? I don't think I'm going to move on that. But this is that special spot where the Heat have just come off that 7-game road trip. So first game at home, having to deal with all the bullshit. Let's talk about it. We'll start with the Raptors. Second half of a back-to-back, they lose 109-102 at home to the Sixers tonight. Snapped their 4-game winning streak, outscored 37-18 in the first. As I said, Storm and Norman Powell continuing his excellent play. 24 points, 6 assists, 4 boards. Now, I know in that first matchup against the Sixers, he had that first off game. He's averaging 17 on the year, and he only put up 11 in that game. But he's been excellent since Lowry went down and they moved to the small ball lineup. Lowry sprained thumb. There was a thought that Lowry would play tonight, and he was held back. He's questionable to go this evening. And the small ball tactics have provided dividends for this Rap squad. Siakam, Bembry, Anunoby as a front court. It's been working. You put Baines and Boucher on the bench. We needed to do something, and this is working. But Siakam played 42 minutes. I was very shocked to see Nurse play him that long. Van Fleet playing 37, Powell 35. Okay, but Siakam 42 on the first of a back-to-back, questionable. Heat have won 3 straight. They finished their 7-game road trip with a 108-94 win at Oklahoma City. They went 4-3 on the trip. Duncan Robinson, 6 threes, led the way with 22 points. Jimmy Buckets didn't have to come in the fourth quarter, and what a team player he is. He was cheering the team on. He was saying, "You guys run with it, run with it. If you guys can make this happen, man." He wasn't saying, "Give me in, coach." You know, he was saying, "Look, it's working right now." I don't have the numbers in front of me. I believe they outscored 29-17. I believe they outscored the Thunder in that fourth, and he was just cheering all the way. Tyler Hero, right hip contusion, ruled out of Monday's game. He's day-to-day right now. Heat haven't played at home since February 9th. Bam Adebayo leading the team when scoring at 19.6 points, a half point ahead of Jimmy Butler. Dragic, questionable to play. He's been out since February 5th with the ankle injury. I love fading a team after winning 3 straight to finish up a road trip and coming home first game. Now, that was when you'd come home and you could go out to the club and you could go out and, you could go out.
Yeah, right.
So that does change things. I'd love to hear your take. This is your game, Wham. Raptors, Heat.
So I'm looking at this as a good spot. I mean, we know they weren't at home the last game the Raptors played today against the Philadelphia 76ers. So they don't really have to go that far to Miami. It's not that far of a trip. In this last 6 games, I believe, for the Raptors, if I'm not mistaken, the last 5 games, they've been covering the road. 5 of the last 6 games, they've been covering the road games. So this is a good spot that maybe they just don't like Tampa, bro. You know what I mean? They don't want to be over there. They don't like the new house that they got here. You know, I don't like it here. I don't like this spot. No, as of late, like you said, small ball has been working. The last 5 games, they're number 1 in defensive rating, number 2 in opponents' points per game, while being 21st in pace, like you said, the 21st in effective field goal percentage. So both of these guys haven't been really efficient lately. But I seen a lot of grit, like you said today. I seen a lot of grit out of a team that I felt like they were outmatched. There's a bad matchup with the Philadelphia 76ers, having Embiid down there. And like you said, it's a small bar lineup. It's going to be an issue there. And the other guys kind of prevailed around Embiid today. So at this point, though, the fight at the end gave me enough indication that them being the underdog in this spot, I believe they are going to be. Them being the underdog in this spot, I believe around probably +2.5. You probably say +2.5, +3 for the Raptors, something around there. Because this is home cooking they're going to give for the Heat. The Heat do not deserve it though. We know the Heat is very much underperforming from what we expect them to be starting this season. And to go into that, I believe that this Raptors team is just far as defensive wise been pretty good, and they are only waiting for another spark off. And I did see that Lowry, I was about to say Mike Lowry, but Kyle Lowry, he's expected to, he's in the right direction of playing. Like you said, he was supposed to be playing today, but the fact that they held him back today means that they care a lot about this road warrior mentality. And I think that this is a good time to take them all the way. I'm going money line as soon as it opens. As soon as it opens, don't care what it is, as long as it's not minus 160. I'm taking the money line Raptors, and I think we're going to get plus money here, bro. So I think we're going to get plus money here, but I like the money line on the Raptors here. And a lot of that has to do with what you're saying here. They're 30th in pace for this Miami Heat team. But along with that, they're being trash at the 3-point percentage. They're 24th in 3-point percentage at 35%. The Raptors are number 7 in 3-point percentage in his last 5 games. So they haven't been shooting really, really good, but they still have been, keeping up with it. And a lot of that has to do with, like you said, Norman Powell's been pretty much unguardable. You can't put nobody in front of him to stop him. As far as Fred VanVleet, we know he could go off and have a great game. I think that he will have a better game when Kyle Lowry comes back. So Kyle Lowry coming back in this next game, who is expected to play, and that's something I've already seen on Fantasy Labs. That's something they tweeted out already. So he's expected to play. I like the Raptors. Another reason why I think the line is not out yet. I think we're going to see +3s. Hopefully we get like a +120, something around there. That'd be nice. But, anything, if it's not minus 160 under, we good. I'll take that.
Interesting take. I mean, Larry hasn't been out for that long, but they've had success without him in the lineup. And generally, I don't want to back a team when their star comes back into the lineup. But Larry's not a guy who's going to come back and want to play 38 minutes or mess with the rhythm. He's a team guy. I think the Raptors, it makes me want to go back to the Raptors early, but I'm going to need time to think about this and maybe watch your breakdown one more time. Wham is on the Raptors money line. We move on. 8 p.m.
Before we do, I'll just go ahead and just knock out this total here as well.
Yeah, please do.
Total going under the last 6 games 5 times for the Raptors. In this meeting, I know these are 2 different teams, like my guy said, but in this meeting, the average total was set at 219.25. That average total combined, so after the game, it was combined of a total of 191.25. So I think that this team may be looking on the underside as well. We know this is a tough matchup, and if we seeing something like low, which I told you, man, like it was supposed to be 216. I thought it was going to be 216, and I think that's kind of what the total is going to be. So the fact that it's exactly where I was going to think it's going to be at, if it's at 216, I don't think we're going to take the under there. But again, these last 4 meetings for these guys, the average total combined for 191. So that's really old school style slug mouth basketball. So if that's the case, be looking for a live total or something like that at this point, because we got a set total if it's something like that. But other than that, I'm not going to take it. But I did want to put that out there just in case we see something in the 220s. I might put it under on that. So
yeah, I think you're right, though. I think you nailed it there with the 216. I think that's a sharp call on your behalf. I'd be very surprised. There's no way it could be 220s with the pace of the Raptors is in the small ball lineup. So I think you're
Right.
very close to nailing it. So, but you're not going to move on the total?
Not if it's 216, just because it's exactly where I'm at. I possibly could get a better look on live betting, just because if it's right there, just slow down. It might creep up. Who knows, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. That is our breakdown for Raptors Heat.